great wealthy people are not paying him. We then had on December the 9th, we had a banker who wouldn't say sorry. And this is the guy from the Royal Bank of Scotland who went for 20 billion to the government. Last year he earned the modest sum of 4.1 million. But we have pensioners in front of their 1-bar electric fire holding a hot water bottle with coats and blankets draped over them, wondering, how are we going to heat? How are we going to eat? You know, we have councillors, government department people, you know, who represent various areas. One guy pocketed £10,000 for the half a dozen meetings that he attended, out of 15. I'm showing you the basest of men, because this is all going to tie together. I was shocked last night to read something from Renz about Eisenhower's Holocaust, his slaughter of 1.7 million Germans. And most of that was after the war was done. He just had these people out in the open and refused them all the things that were essential for life. This is in the winter. No food, no water, although there was a river just a couple of 100 yards away. He said, God, I hate the Germans. That's what he wrote in a letter to his wife in 1944 September. When you read how he treated them, you see, the point is, all these chickens are going to come home to roost. That's what I've been saying now for a long, long time. They will come home to roost. We now have Mandelson come and join the government in a very high profile position, but he actually attended recently a voodoo ceremony. This isn't hidden, this is in the national press. How can any country expect to be blessed when the head is sick? That's what it says. The head is sick, right down to the sole of the foot is sick. And it is these sick people and the people behind them, even more importantly, who are controlling and manipulating them, that are causing many people to live in hell right now. They told us about global warming, but this is the coolest start to a winter for 30 years. And it's the coldest start since 1999. We then have the matter of debt. I'm just mixing these all up. It is now said that the average debt, there are 60 million people roughly in the United Kingdom, the average debt is £150,000 per family. Can you imagine that? They could have paid off all their mortgages, couldn't they? Then it's just come out in the past couple of days that Tony Blair was a Catholic. The guy has written his book about him. And he said, you know, he was told not to. Blair said, don't put this information out. It will be disastrous for him. He was a Catholic. I said that before, a long time ago. What does that mean? You've got to ask yourself, who was running the United Kingdom for the last 10 years? That's what you've got to ask yourself. And the suffering that the people have been going through. The thousands that have lost their homes and have no idea where to turn. Mugabe is also a Catholic. Sarkozy is also a Catholic. There are loads of them, all over the place. You know, our local councils, they cost us £5 billion a year, £5 billion a year, which is the equivalent of £221 per household. For what? Their pensions. Nothing else might be functioning, but I tell you what, their pensions are functioning. Hell, many people are here already. We have a girl in Wisconsin who had a girl of 10 years old who had a list of 25 students written down for the time when it came for her to carry out her killing spree. 10 years old! A couple of days ago, a teenager shot and killed his mother and seriously injured his father because the father didn't want him to play the current violent PlayStation game. He went, took the gun out of his father's cabinet, shot the mother dead instantly, shot the father in the head. The father survived. They've just finished trying and sentencing most of 19 teenagers who raped a 14-year-old girl, while the adults walked by and did nothing. Well, I have to tell you, I wouldn't have liked to have been there, because I don't think any of those 19 would have survived. I mean it. We had a young boy, 11-year-old boy, just killed very recently by 7 people. All teenagers, young people. They shot him down and killed him. So you see, the world as a whole is very much like hell right now, isn't it? You'll see it even more as I go on. Goldman Sachs, the bank bonuses were cut, you'll be pleased to hear that, to a mere £142,000 each. Don't tell me you can't pay your gas bill or your electric. You don't know how you're going to heat your place. Big fee earners could make much more than that in a year. In 2006, one star employee is believed to have banked £50 million, a bonus. Now, this same investment bank, Goldman Sachs, is to pay $4.3 billion in bonuses to its city workers. Get that, $4.3 billion. The bonus proportion of this is estimated at 60% of total pay, dropped to $4.3 billion, but is still worth an average of $142,000 per employee. Overall, each worker is likely to suffer a 45% cut in average pay to £237,470. Yesterday, the firm posted its first loss for almost a decade, and earlier this year, it was forced to accept a £6.5 billion lifeline from the US government after falling prey to the economic crisis. So it doesn't really matter that they went and got this money from the American government, who probably just printed it anyway. So they got a lifeline of $6.5 billion, but they are paying $4.3 billion in bonuses.